bring on the host, Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs and host of Vegas Rock Dog Radio. On today's show, I'm talking about delicious cakes, birthdays, baby chicks, and more. So stay right there.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Sam, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs, and you are tuning in to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. We're a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. Talking of pop culture, Jim, I want to go and see...
Good morning, by the way.
Ocean's 8, good morning. Just remind me, Ocean's 8, it needs to happen this weekend. Welcome to the show, everybody. I know we've got a lot of new listeners today, which is wonderful. So thank you for tuning in. And for all our regular listeners, welcome back. Welcome back every single week for the last 5 years. When is my anniversary of the show?
I don't know the exact date.
I would think it's during the cooler months.
No, was it the cooler months or was it the summer months? I thought it was the summery months.
I don't remember. The trouble is, I try and think back to old anniversaries, but because I always wear black, I think, it must have been winter, but I always wear black, so it could be any month, maybe.
Do we need to make a special announcement today on the show?
I don't know. Do we?
Isn't today a special day?
Is it?
Well, yesterday was the specialist day, but then today is a continuation because of the way you celebrate.
Okay.
Do we need to tell everybody?
Yeah.
It was your birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday yesterday. Not just my birthday, but my twin's birthday and my mama's birthday.
And loads of people we know were born on June 8th. Yeah.
Loads. And I have a twin sister. As many of you know, I have a twin sister. She was in Valencia in Spain celebrating there. And our mama is in heaven. And we all shared this great birthday, but we have tons of friends. I have twin friends.
Yeah, my friend Sean Kaneko as well.
Yeah, lots of Prince. You know I love Prince. So lots of great birthdays on June the 8th. I love an even number. I have to tell you that. So June 8th, yeah. And the year has, my birth year has even numbers. I love an even number. I like the fact that it's 2018 right now. Do not like odd numbers. It's a strange thing. But what I like to do is spin out my birthday for as long as I possibly can.
Yeah, you don't have a birthday. It's your birth week.
It's my birth week. Hey, if you can't celebrate the day you came into this world, it's sad. Always celebrate it. It's important.
The week of.
Yeah, so, I had a lovely birthday yesterday. Got some really nice presents. I love clothes, so my sisters always send me clothes, which I love. And it was fun. And went to see Jim in his show with Frankie Moreno, and went backstage, and we had a cake and some brown sugar bourbon. I liked that, Jim. What was that?
Yeah, I noticed you liked that. It's brown sugar bourbon.
Is that what it was? It was really nice.
Yeah, I noticed how much you liked it.
So it was very nice. And to everybody that wished me a happy birthday, it was a lot of people, and I'm still wading my way through all the birthday wishes and saying thank you. So it's a wonderful thing. And actually, since we're talking about birthdays and celebrations, a couple of minutes from now, we're going to be talking to someone rather fabulous who can make all your birthday, anniversary, wedding, dog birthday wishes come true with the most delectable cakes. But that's in a couple of minutes. Now, before we actually get to our guest, I want to tell you how you can find us on the internet. Man, there are many ways in which you can connect with us. Our website is vegasrockdogradio.com. It's the easiest way to listen to the show. Just go to the site, click listen live, and there it is. You'll also find us on Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Instagram. And we have a blog, and the blog is therockandrolldog.com. And if you miss the live show, you can catch the show, an archive show, on iTunes, iHeart Radio, and on Spoke by Sirius XM and any other podcast app you may have on your phone. You're going to find us. We are there. Just search for us. It's really, really easy. And that way, you don't miss a show. You can subscribe, and it just comes right into the app every single week. So yeah, it's been a week. It's been quite the week. I can't believe it's almost it is a week since my niece went back to England, and we thoroughly enjoyed having her here. She's doing a degree in equine science, so we've got a little expert in the family. Quite excited about that. Next year she'll take a master's, and she'll be ready to go into the animal world and make a difference. And she's always worked with horses. Horses are a thing since she was 5. I want to say and I don't mean she went to have a few little lessons. No, she had a little job down at the yard, and she was mucking out horses and brushing them down and feeding them. And and lots of kids would not do that, especially on a Saturday or Sunday morning, would they, Jim, on a weekend when all the friends are doing other things.
No.
So she's had this real passion for horses, and she's quite the equestrian herself. And it's very exciting, very, very exciting. So I miss her. She's been gone a week. Within the week, we've gone from the excitement of our first professional sports team in Vegas getting to the finals of the Stanley Cup.
They were amazing, though.
They were amazing.
Amazing. No one's ever had a first season of any first team like that.
I mean, they didn't win, but it doesn't matter, because to know the history of our ice hockey team in this past year, where they called them the Misfits because they were just pulled from different teams and only played together this year.
Everybody thought they'd be a failure, and they were 500-1 odds to even have a successful season. And they made it all the way to the finals in 5 games.
Oh, I've never, in the 20-plus years that we've lived here, never seen the city come together in a way that they did for this team. And they've gone Golden Knights crazy, haven't they, Jim? Even everyone has got pets. Oh, they're wearing bandanas and bow ties and jackets and
tattoos.
And what's the one dog? Its name. There's a dog.
Bark Andre Fleury.
Bark Andre Fleury is one of the dogs who's a big fan. Gets to go to the games. It's been unbelievable. So I expect there will just be an amazing season ahead. It's been a very exciting week in Vegas, hasn't it, Jim?
You've actually become a little sports fan yourself.
Well, I'm not really a sports person, but my niece really became vested in 2 weeks within the team, bought the gear and everything. And by the way, Jim, and I don't know his exact title, but my twin sister's friend, he's the big wig of the national ice hockey something or other in Britain.
Oh, well, is he the guy with the Sheffield Blades?
Blades is football.
Oh, wait.
Soccer.
What are the Sheffield ice hockey team called? They're called the Sheffield
ice hockey team. I don't know. No idea. But anyway, we get to meet him at the wedding because he's our ride.
Oh.
So I'm sure he was watching the Stanley Cup without a doubt. So it's been a really exciting. It's kind of stressful though, watching a hockey game. And I have this theory, don't I, Jim? And we've totally gone off the topic of pets
theory
here. My coaching technique would be just whack it and get it in the goal. That's it. It's really simple. That is it.
That's all it takes.
But
right?
did you not just keep saying that on the last game? Do you just whack it?
Are going, yeah, right. Just whack it. Mm-hmm. It's that easy, right?
It's very simple. That's your whole goal. Anyway, so it's been a very exciting week. And with the birthday and all the good stuff that comes along with that, it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, and I did get a fantastic card from my friend Andy. It was handmade, and that I really appreciate. I'll post it because it's so funny. Oh, it's so fabulous. I said, I'm so glad you didn't buy a card. I'm just glad that he made it. Well, let's get on to one of today's topics, and that is birthday cakes, anniversary cakes, wedding cakes. But I'm talking about cakes for pets. For pets. And I happen to have the most fabulous experience of a cake made by Julia Greene of Petisserie here in Las Vegas. And I know lots of people make cakes, and there are other companies and bakeries, they call them. But let me tell you something. These cakes are next level cakes. So let me bring on Julia. Good morning, Julia.
Hey, guys.
How are you? I threw you in the deep end, didn't I, today? And you're going to survive. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. Happy belated birthday, Sam.
Thank you so much. Well, I've been wanting to bring you on the show since we did our fundraiser, Buckingham Palace, which our listeners know about. We did Buckingham Palace, a royal dog wedding, and I reached out to you rather late in the game. I really did, because I'd been following your account for a while, and your cakes are just beyond exquisite. We'll post tons of photos. People will get to see how gorgeous your cakes are for pets.
Thank you.
And I was not expecting you to come back and say, yes, I can make it happen, only because of the error of my ways, leaving it so incredibly late. And I thought, it's worth asking. It's always worth asking. I've always been that person anyway. It's always worth asking. You never know. But don't have this crazy expectation when you're the one that's asking at such a late date. So I reached...
Well, actually... Each cake takes 3 days to make, so it was a challenge.
It was by the skin of your teeth then.
Yeah. And I remember getting your mail like at midnight or something. It's like, oh my God, I have to wake up tomorrow at 5. I have to start making this cake.
I'm that person too. I'm like, oh, an idea just popped into my head. I will just email them. Oh, it's 2 in the morning.
You should have gone over there at 2 in the morning and helped her get ready to make the cake.
I should have.
For the late request.
I should have. It was so spectacular. But
actually, my neighbors at the office, I have a commercial kitchen here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come here like at 6 and I'm already here. And they're like, do you sleep here? I said, no, I actually come here at night.
You're like, only when Sam calls at the middle of the night to ask for a cake. It's ridiculous. What's wrong with her? So I seem to be giving you a heart attack every time I contact you, which is, can you do me a cake last minute? Let's do an interview tomorrow.
But it's what part of being a chef is. It's a hard work, and sometimes you have to do something happen right now, or actually yesterday.
Well, this is it, and I can't imagine when sometimes you get a request comes in, and we've done the same kind of things. I mean, I've just got a really amazing request in for an interview for someone so huge. It's like if someone said to me, what's his name from Jumanji? What's his name? The lead actor.
Dwayne Johnson?
No. No. Younger. Chris. Search it.
God.
I haven't
Jim, go and research it for me. But what my point is sometimes you get a big name that contacts you and says, can we do this together? Or can we interview? Or can you make me a cake? Or whatever. And you just go, yes, because these opportunities are so big that you...
Well, and again, you get excited about your work, right? So,
yes.
like, once you get some orders that, like, is super exciting, and especially when you order the cake for the wedding, it's like, I love to do custom cakes because I have, like, 9 different cakes on a site and pastries, but sometimes I get a custom order, and it's like, you have to create, you love doing it, and you get all your energy, and, like, you don't feel like the time goes by, you just do it.
That's right. We have been in that exact situation where we're like, well, you know what? Maybe we won't be sleeping for the next week, but that's okay because it's worth taking this on. Jim, I can hear that. What is that? Oh, do you have your phone?
Do you have your phone on?
No, my phone's not on. I can hear myself and I don't need to hear myself. Is that your phone, Jim?
No, because I'm doing research for you, but...
Yes, it is. Turn your phone on. Can you hear that? That's making me crazy. Yes, it is. Turn your phone. Can you just turn your phone off and forget about Chris? Is it Chris Pratt? Is that his name?
Oh, that would be awesome.
I don't
know. Wouldn't it just? But it was like this request came in, and it was like someone of that caliber, but in the animal world, where it was like, yes,
awesome.
I will make this happen. You know, so trying to explain it to the non-animal world people who this guest was, I was like, oh, it's like having, like a George Clooney call you up. It's that kind of guest. But it does make you very excited. They're great opportunities for your business. Now, I want to know a little bit about your background. How did you get involved in food, basically?
Well, it's
weird.
No, Jim. I would not get excited about Nick Jonas. Sorry.
I'm not researching Jumanji for you
It's
now.
okay.
I'm just not.
Me and Julia are just going to get back to our conversation. So how did food become your world? How did that happen?
It's a long story, but to make it short, I have a chemical engineer background.
What?
I have master's degree in chemical engineering of plastic recycling.
What? I am mind blown right now. That's amazing.
So, yeah, I spent 6 years studying that, and I worked. I didn't really love it. Then I moved to US, and I had one dog. Then I had two dogs, and then I had 5 pets at home.
Oh.
And yeah, I go to the shelter and I come back with 2 cats. So, and sometimes they have birthdays or whatever. You go to the stores, you buy them treats, right? And I started researching what kind of treats are those, because before I give it to my animals, I taste it a little bit. And most of the treats taste sweet. I was like, that's weird. Like, why would the dog cookie taste sweet?
Yeah.
So many treats and cakes are covered with yogurt chips, which are 70% sugar. So it led to my research and like what people are using in bakeries for dogs and for cats. So I thought, like, there is no way to get a healthy, organic, low sugar or no sugar cake. That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to Europe. I studied in a culinary pastry school, and I came back. I spent 18 months creating my recipes, creating cakes and treats that will have no or very, very little sugar. Like natural, for example, my cakes are all covered in fruit purees, which has natural sugars.
Yeah.
So yes, that's pretty much was my inspiration. My animals that I want to feed well, I want them to be healthy. You obviously won't die from the sugar in your treats, but you will get diabetes, you will have different types of problems, the same as some people, right?
You know what? It's amazing because, like you say, there are a million treats on the market. There are a million bakeries making cakes and stuff, but it's kind of shocking what's in them. And it's just, to me, it just makes... I think what you prove, with your company, and her company is called Petisserie, which I just love. I think what you've shown people is you can have the most beautiful, I mean beautiful people. I can't even begin to tell you, beautiful looking cakes, custom designed that are organic and healthy. There's no need for them to be pumped up with a load of garbage to look pretty. Which I think is what a lot of bakers try to achieve is, well, how do I make it look like it's got frosting? Well, I'll cover it in a bunch of this, and it's full of sugar. But you've truly have, and not only mastered, but you've researched it and perfected it to look like an amazing cake.
Because I went to basically a human regular pastry school, so I wanted my cakes and my pastries to look like human food, but to be for pets, because inside you can get meat-based sponge, you can get vegetable sponge, so it is totally adjusted to the dietary preferences of your pet, but it looks like a human cake.
It's I mean, honestly, I kept looking at the cakes and kept telling people before I even saw the cake that you were going to make for us, and I kept saying, these are for pets. I said, no way, are they for pets? I said, these are for pets. Look at them. They're a piece of artwork. They're exquisite.
I have an idea for a cake that I would like.
Oh, go on, Jim.
A custom cake, since you're talking about the sweet and savory and the pet. I would like a cake that looks like a cake, but tastes like pierogies.
You know what? It actually what kind of it is. When people ask, like, it looks so pretty, like, what does it taste like? I said, well, think about meat muffin, for example, or meatloaf.
Right.
And then close your eyes and think it's a cake.
And think it's a cake and kid yourself. And it's healthy, but you think you're eating a cake. I tell you something, I just was so... and I know I'm gushing, but honestly, I've never come across cakes like yours ever. And I've been in this industry a long, long time. A long time.
Yeah.
And you know what's difficult for me is... And Jim knows this about me. If I feel something is not good, not healthy for pets, doesn't solve a problem, I really can't recommend it. I really can't. And because that's the whole nature of the whole show is we educate people and then we give great recommendations as well so that they don't have to wade through all this stuff. We do all the research, and just like you did all the research, which I love. I love research.
Yeah, and like sometimes it takes a long time to get people to understand that no, those are actually healthy. They can look pretty and they can be healthy, because people are like, oh no, those are too pretty. Obviously they're covered in something like mastic or sugar.
Yeah.
And you have to explain each step to so many people because it's not on the market right now, right? So it's
That's it. It's not available. Thank goodness it's only available from you. Yay! Because that's where everybody has to go and get their cakes. But it's true. I think that there comes a little level of education with something like yours.
It is the biggest part of it right now. After I spent so many months creating it, now my biggest job is to explain to people what it is and why is it good and why do you have to get it.
I'm thinking you need to do a little video. That's what I'm thinking. A Facebook Live, an Instagram Live. And you explain to everybody, you know, these are the type of ingredients that are in there. These are your options, because you do give options. In fact, you sent me a list of options. I can't remember what they were, but what were the types of flour that you could choose from?
So you can choose whole wheat, you can choose brown rice, coconut, or gluten-free all-purpose flour.
You see, that in itself, you don't get that choice anywhere else. You really don't. And then what were the meats again? I think did I do beef? I can't remember. I think I did beef, didn't I?
It's beef, chicken, bison, or salmon. And again, all cakes are custom made and made to order. So like if somebody comes to me and say, hey, I want, I don't know, whatever, like no meat and I want coconut flour mixed with brown rice flour, I totally can do it. And that's why people, I guess, like it, because they can customize each step of the process.
Yes, and I just think that's lovely to be able to do that. I really, really do. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I brought the cake out, first of all, people were just wowed by the cake and the design that you did. I mean, wowed. Do you know what it looked like? The way that you had covered the cake. Did they call it mirror?
So
what do they call that?
In a human world, it's for the normal cakes, it's mirror glaze.
That's right. It looks like mirror glaze.
That was exactly my point. But mirror glaze, I studied at the pastry school how to do it and all the process. Like there is even specific angle of the blender that you have to hold it in, so it doesn't have a single bubble when you cover it. Yes.
I love baking. I'm a person who likes to bake. I mainly bake my English stuff because I miss it from home more than anything. But baking is a science. I've told people before, you have to be exact with the recipes. You can't be making it up. Well, I just throw a little bit of this in. I said, because you'll end up with a disaster on your hands. It truly is a science. And to have a successful cake, like you said, there are techniques that go along with it. They're amazing. I not long ago made some the French macarons. Oh, wow. Techniques galore. You know, bang the tray X amount of times, and because you got to get the little foot on the bottom, and wow. I mean, it is, but once you, and of course you know that because you are a professional, but those techniques really make for amazing pastries and cakes, and yours are just perfect. I mean, the mirror glaze, unreal. The amount of people that said to me, oh, wow, you got a cake for everyone. And I said, not for the people. It's not for the people. You can eat it. Yes, of course you can. It's human grade. It's organic. Of course you can. But like you say, it might taste like a pierogi.
Actually, it was quite funny. I have so many orders from New York and Los Angeles. So I flew to New York. I delivered cakes to so many dogs. And that one woman said to me, like, you know, it's weird. And it just don't tell anybody, but I did try your cake and I loved it.
So did I. I tried your cake too.
Oh my God.
Yes, I did. People were laughing at me and I said, no, you can eat it. It's human grade food. Yes. But it's probably better than what most people eat at home anyway. Well, I have this video and I think I did tag you in the video, and I'm still finishing the actual video from the entire wedding. So when that's finished, you obviously will get that link as well.
Oh, that's cool.
But I have this Facebook Live that's really funny because there were a couple of people there that said, well, my dog's really picky. You know, so I said, well, let your dog try some cake. And then the one lady came back. She said, can I have some more for my dog? The picky dog. And little Gracie eating that cake was hilarious because she's all of, I think, 8 pounds, if that. And she wanted to eat the paper plate as well. She was so excited about, and everybody was surprised. And I said, because it's a meat cake.
Yeah, because on top is a fruit puree. So, like, because dogs don't usually have fruit puree, so they start licking it. But once they're done with that layer of fruit puree on top, they can smell the meat, they can taste the meat, and they just go rough. They just dig in.
They literally do wolf it down. And here's an interesting thing about how dogs smell. And I have a friend who she trains dogs to detect cancer through smell, through cancer sniffing dogs. And I learned something from her that was really interesting. She said, we can walk into, say, Sam's birthday party and go, oh, there's a cake. Delicious. I smell cake baking or whatever. And you smell a chocolate cake. She says, but a dog can walk in and go, I smell flour, eggs, sugar, butter, chocolate. They can smell every individual ingredient. So, yes, certainly when they get to your cakes, they go, there's some meat in here, people. Do you even realize? I mean, people were so impressed, so excited. They were happy to see their dogs enjoying it. And you know what made me happy is the fact that I knew it was healthy. And that I really, really loved about the whole thing. But your cakes are truly exquisite.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that you made a cake for actress Kelly Cuoco of Big Bang Theory. Tell me about that.
So there is a non-profit organization called PowerWorks. They're amazing. They was the first non-profit that helped Ventura County to reach no puppy sales. So they only are allowed to adopt shelter dogs, to foster dogs. They are non-kill shelter,
Wonderful.
Basically. Yes, and Kelly Cuoco is one of their founders, and she helps them a lot. They do a lot of events. They do a lot of educational programs with people and kids. So it was a black tie event, and it was all money went toward that PowerWorks organization, and she was hosting it. And obviously, I mean, I made 3 cakes for her, for a few other people, and I went to her and I said, it's specifically for your dog Norman, because he's a cutie pie. He's amazing pit bull rescue. And I gave it to her, and she loved it.
She probably couldn't believe her eyeballs either. I mean, she probably could not believe her eyeballs. And I love the box that the cake comes in. It's very unique. It's very modern. You're getting something really, really special in that box. Now, what would you say out of the whole process, from someone calling you for a custom cake to actually delivering, what is the most stressful part of it, you would say?
I would say delivering.
Yeah, that's what I would say too. I would be a wreck.
Because in the car, I have like a little fridge-looking things. They're basically with gel packs, because cakes are getting fresh and made to order. So in a fridge, they are good for up to 5 days.
You see, and we've got the heat going right now, which is just horrific. So I think that would really stress me out more than anything.
It is pretty stressful.
I like to make my English trifles, and typically I make them in a big giant trifle bowl or a big punch bowl. And sometimes we'll go up to Bonnie Springs to watch the outdoor theatre stuff, and a big group of us go. And I always say, I'm taking dessert because I don't like what anyone else makes. So I say, I'll make dessert. And everybody else brings sandwiches and stuff. And a few times I've actually transported a whole trifle, in a crystal bowl. And I said, This is way too stressful when you're trying to coordinate, going through round corners and stuff like that while Jim's driving. So I resorted, which you can't do this with cake, but I resorted to making mini trifles in mason jars with lids on them. And I was like, yay, because I can't be dealing with all that stress. So I would imagine, yes, transportation.
Yeah. And I have a lot of customers from Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area. And basically, I make my cakes in a kitchen in Las Vegas, and then at like 5 or 6 a.m., I have to leave and deliver the cake. So it takes like 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah,
in LA traffic.
That drive.
It is the biggest.
You need a friend with a private jet.
Oh, okay.
We need to find you a friend with a private jet. It will make it so much easier.
I would not mind a friend who's a private
I
jet.
wouldn't either. Maybe we can both share that friend. Well, and how long have you actually been in business? When did you officially launch?
I officially launched my site in October 2017, but prior to that, I spent over 2 years.
And that was all your development, wasn't it?
Yes. I went back to school, to the culinary school, and then I came here. I had my kitchen rebuilt and done, and then I started working on the recipes. And
amazing.
Yeah, it was a process.
But what a great, I think it kind of leans into your engineering background and research, and like, if I'm going to do something, let's do it right.
That's correct.
And who do I work with to get that to happen?
Well, again, so many people here accept their pets as their kids, correct?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you obviously want only the best for yourself and for you, especially for your kids.
Yes.
So the whole research was based on love to animals and what you want them to have, and they have or don't have every day. So it is a cake that has all the best quality ingredients. My fruit puree on top I import from France, and I have only 2 distributors in US who do that for me, one in Florida, one in LA. So it takes a long time, and it's research and then preparation and then delivering, and all that process I do by myself, by the way. But
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you get to control every aspect of it, and I think that's
one of the things to control, but it's also to make sure that people who trust you get what you promise them to have.
I've always said this: if you can show up on time for a job, and if you can deliver what you said you're going to deliver, you'll be very successful in this town. Because people can be a little flaky here, to say the least. And so that down, along with the most amazing, exquisite, quality, healthy, organic cakes, you're onto a winner. You just have to know that you're onto a big, big winner here. But I was so excited. She said yes. Oh my gosh, can't believe she said yes, because it's like a couple of days before the event, And I do have some lovely photos. But as I say, they're all going into a video, and obviously I'll send you photos separately as well for you to be able to use. But I would love to see you do an Instagram Live and a Facebook Live, explaining to people.
At one point, I was thinking about creating a YouTube channel where, sometimes people, when I deliver the cakes, they send me videos of dogs eating a cake.
Yes.
And like that first moment when the dog digs into that cake, it's so precious, and it's like the best payback for me, because when I see the dog enjoying it, I basically don't need any money after.
I know what you mean. You just go, it makes you so happy.
Yes,
it makes
does.
Because that's the whole point, is that they enjoy it as well. And it just makes that celebration even more. I just love it. I mean, lots of people contact me to come on the show. They've started a treat company or a dog food company. But I think what you've got is something such on such a different level. And the fact that it is organic and healthy, that's what I loved about it. It's something I can say to our listeners. Yes, go get your cakes from Petisserie. That's where you need to get them from. Now, your website is Petisserie. Now, it's P-E-T, everybody, Petisserie.Vegas. Petisserie.Vegas. But she clearly is delivering cakes all over the place. And if anyone's got a private jet and they want to loan that to her, that would be a wonderful thing. Where else can everyone find you on social media?
So my main platform is actually Instagram, because so many people who order the cakes, they come from Instagram.
Yeah.
So it is my main source. I'm also on Facebook, and I have my own site.
Wonderful, because and what I love about Instagram, it is visual. It's about photographs, and
Yes,
that's exactly what you do. People see it, they get it, they're like, it's gorgeous, I want one of those. And it's a great platform. I really, really enjoy Instagram. But yeah, as soon as you do your YouTube channel, explaining what you do, but I totally understand why there is a little educational component to it. But once you explain it, people go, oh, so it's that beautiful and it's healthy. Yes, that's exactly what we want to do. But I was just so thrilled. So were all our 4-legged guests, our 3-legged guests, our no-eyed guests, our one-eyed guests. I mean, we had that many amazing animals at the event itself. We had Odie's eyes there. He has 36,000 followers. He has no eyes at all. He's a little friend of mine. He was there. He loved the cake. His sister, who actually was the bride, loved the cake. And that was Gracie. We had Willow there. Now, Willow was saved from the meat trade in Korea. And he's now an advocate for raising awareness about the meat trade. So he was there. We had so many amazing little dogs there, all from rescues. Just fantastic, great stories. And they all got to experience the cake, enjoy the cake. And they all know about you now, which I'm so happy about.
Yeah. And a week ago, I did a cake eating party for dogs in Sunset Park.
Oh, yes, you did. That's right.
Yes. And it was actually extremely amazing. And basically, I prepared 5 different cakes with different meats and different flours inside. So I invited all my friends. I posted a few notes on dog parks to invite people because, again, it is educational. People don't know I exist. But when they know, they're customers.
They get it. They totally get
they
it.
do. So that party was created for obviously dogs to come and eat the cake, and for people to come and socialize and see what the company is all about.
It's brilliant.
Yes, I cut the cake and I show. So this layer is mousse. This layer is a sponge, and I'm going into details of what it is and why is it good and how it actually takes a long time to prepare. And people go, "Oh my God, I had no idea."
It's brilliant. It is so brilliant. Because what do you do when you get married? You go and taste cakes, don't you? That's what you go and do. You go sample cakes. I think it's brilliant. Next one you do, make sure you tag me. Hopefully we're available. But I think it's a brilliant way to get the word out because they get the full experience of it. And I think it's very, very clever that you did that.
And it's always fun because you have 20, 30 dogs coming in and they're all eating. We had a professional photographer come in and he took a bunch of pictures. Yes, it was amazing.
That's exciting. Well, I have to say, Julie, it's been fantastic. I told you didn't need to prepare anything because you know everything about your own fabulous business, and I know I threw you in the deep end, but you know what? You've now done radio. Yay! You're a pro now because there are going to be many more interviews in your future. There really are.
Oh, my God.
So I'm very excited we got to do this, and I will send you the video once it's complete. We're now friends. Yay!
Yay!
And so glad you came on the show. Tell everyone your website one more time.
It is patisserie.vegas.
But it's easy. And, of course, these links, everyone, are going to go on our social media, so you don't have to, fish around the internet to try and find Julia's company. We will make sure they go on all of our platforms. Make it easy for you to get the most delicious, exquisite, organic, healthy cakes for your pets. Well, thanks, Julia. I hope you have a great weekend. I will be in touch soon.
Thank you for having me.
It was our pleasure. Bye, love.
Thank you.
So, everyone, let's take a quick break because I feel like I need to eat a piece of cake. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we can talk about baby chicks. So you're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Pet Scene Magazine is dedicated to Las Vegas pets and the people who love them. It's a source of news and information for pet lovers, as well as offering valuable coupons and specials on pet products and services. Find them online at www.lvpetscene.com or look for them on Facebook.
At Carl's Jr., not only do we make you happy with our delicious charbroil burgers, we also make your dogs happy. Come through our drive-thru with your furry friends and we'll offer them a treat. We love to see their smiling faces. Our website, carlsjroflasvegas.com, has a treat in store for its customers too, with free coupons anytime, so visit us often. Carl's Jr. is a proud and active supporter of animal adoption in our community. You can find us at carlsjroflasvegas.com.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Okay, so we're going to move on a little bit more with the show. I have a couple of tips for you, actually. And one of my tips is we're at tick season. We don't have ticks here, yay! But there are ticks in many, many other places in the world, and it can be a real drag. But what do you do if you see a tick on your pet? You're out and about, and you don't have a tool to get it out of your pet's skin. Well, it's quite easy. It's quite easy if you use grips or bobby pins in your hair, and you can actually use them to slide the open prong part of a bobby pin under and around a tick, and then you pull it up and it comes out. And it's a quick on the go. I don't have anything else with me, any tools, solutions, or you can't wait to get home.
You mean the loop end?
No. You have to slide the open part first, so you can get right underneath it and pull that sucker out of there.
Huh.
So that's what you can do. Or stick one in your backpack or your little bum bag, as we call them. Whenever you go hiking in, put a grip or a bobby pin, because you never know. Thank goodness we don't have to deal with those.
Can't you, like, suffocate them with lotion or something?
Well, I don't know. But I won't ask you to do it again, because you had me flipping echoing in the back of the studio there. I didn't like that.
What are your dogs doing right
now? Dogs are just sleeping. We've got Miss Thornton and Mr. Twix in the studio here. They bought me the best birthday card. If you want to go and see it, go to Instagram. It is the best. They also bought me the most beautiful teacup and saucer, because if anyone knows me and you follow me on Instagram, I have the most ridiculous, out of control, and I know it's out of control, but I love them, teacup collection.
You might be a hoarder.
Only on teacups. I love, well, maybe shoes. And clothes and bags.
Yeah, you're a hoarder. Yeah.
But my friend Regina, she bought me a teapot. I was so excited. She bought me a teapot. So I know, it's just my thing. I'm very English. That's that. I love my little teacups and teapots. Where was I going with this?
You never drink a whole tea either. You always leave half in the cup.
You know why? It's because I get really busy. That's the problem. And then I leave. I forget about the drink. So that's what's horrible. Since we were talking to Julia Greene, pastry chef at Petisserie, and she talked about her cakes being organic and healthy, I wanted to give you a little list of fridge foods that can be healthy dog snacks that you have right in your fridge, more than likely. Now, of course, I'm going to list these. It doesn't mean you're just going to take a whole big Brussels sprout and give your dog a whole big Brussels sprout. But here's some of the foods. And then what you can do is research exactly how you should feed them and how much you should feed your pets. But here we go. There are some very antioxidant-rich things in your fridge that you can give to your pets, and that's bell peppers, spinach, Brussels sprouts, blackberries, raspberries, apples, and blueberries. Who knew? Isn't that great? Cancer-smashing treats that are already in your fridge. You're talking shiitake mushrooms, spirulina, pumpkin, broccoli, kale, and ginger. Now, when it comes to superfoods, we're talking eggs, kelp, coconut oil, wheatgrass, pomegranate, and sprouts. And then we roll on to anti-inflammatory foods, pineapple, sardines, turmeric root, asparagus, papaya, and cranberries. Bananas are great for heart health. Kefir is very good at probiotic, and parsley is a great detoxifier. And believe it or not, almonds, ground almonds, and of course you would only give them in a very small portion, very tiny portion, are very good for boosting the immune system. And ground pumpkin seeds also are very good for ligament health. So all those things you probably have in your fridge, and if you don't have them, you should probably have them for yourselves and your pets. So there you go. And I'll put this little infographic up. It's a great one, and you can stick it up on your fridge and be a little bit more aware of what can actually really help your pets. But always research how you actually feed them to your pets and the dosage and how you prepare them. Right, so my last topic for the day came from a personal experience at the post office this week. Rarely go to the post office, rarely. And I went to pick up a parcel. The great news was it was a birthday present from my mummy. And I'm stood there waiting for her to come back with, I wasn't sure what she was bringing back, but I was waiting for her and I could hear birds, chirruping. And of course, there's a big, massive sorting warehouse behind. And often, birds come flying because they're so big, those facilities. But I hear a lot of, chirruping, and I look.
Cheep.
Yeah.
Cheep.
And it's a box of flipping baby chicks. Now, I'd heard about it, never actually witnessed and experienced baby chicks being shipped through the post office. I can't even get my head around it. Still can't get my head around it. So they're being shipped, and it's perfectly legal. It's perfectly legal, and it's in my eyes ridiculous. So I was quite upset about it, and so was the lady at the post office. She goes, I can't believe we still do this. It's horrible. She goes, and these people are late having picked up these chickens. They should have picked them up, baby chicks, the day before. So it had me doing, of course, I look at everything from an animal welfare standpoint. And remember, animal welfare, the 5 freedoms of animal welfare are always through the eyes of an animal, not through the eyes of what a human thinks that they might be experiencing or not experiencing, or they think it's okay or not okay, or they think it's okay in that country but not in this country. It is always through the eyes of the animal. And that will give you a completely different perspective as to whether that animal has those 5 freedoms applied to its life. So here we go. So, and of course, I got to read both sides of this, from obviously the people that sell them and obviously the people who care about animal welfare. And so, get this, Jim. You'll be surprised by this. Well, maybe you won't be, because you're from here. They've been a staple of springtime mail deliveries for nearly a century, specifically since March 13th, 1918, when Postmaster General A.S. Bilson, he's to blame, by the way, opened the door to the mail-order chick business with the following announcement. Live day-old chicks shall be accepted for mailing without insurance or COD privileges when the package in which they are contained is properly prepared and can be delivered to the addressee within 72 hours from the time of mailing.
So they don't get food or water for 72 hours.
They don't get food or water. So I started doing all my research. Now, there's a lot. I'm just looking at my time here, and now I can get this all in the time. I went to the websites of the people that sell them, and they seem to have a very, what's the word? Well, they're in business. That's that. They're in business. It's not about animal welfare. They're in business. I don't know where to start. There's so many bits to this. Okay, let's start with this. And this came off one of the websites here. They will not ship 1 or 2 baby chicks because I think, from what I can gather, is they like to pack them in so they're not rattling around in this box. Yeah. Now the box I saw, it looked like a box that was slightly, what's the word, Jim? Angled in towards the top. Which I did read about that, and it made sense to me, and it had a few holes, and that was it. It wasn't some special cage. It just wasn't. It actually looked like like a mailing box. It really did. I know the reason they slope them from reading is so that there's always head space, air space, or something like that, that it's not straight up, so they're not jammed up this way. I don't know. Because you know me, I come from a whole position of welfare. I really do. But anyways, they pack them in. It's usually about 15 of them, but some of them don't make it. And one of the questions on their website was, how can so few chickens arrive at their location safely? They put most hatcheries require 15 or 25 baby chicks per order because the chicks need one another's body heat to survive their 2-day journey. This is a big pain for lots of people who just want a few chickens, since our goal in life is to make your life easy. There you have it, people. Their goal in life is not to make sure the chicken's welfare comes first. It's to make your life easy to get your chickens, yeah? And they're shipping them mainly at that time of year where Easter rolls up and people are dyeing them and they sell them as gifts. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so their goal in life is to make your life easy, okay? And they said they partnered with a forward-thinking hatchery that has developed a brand new way of shipping baby chicks that includes a high-tech, long-lasting heating element. This keeps the chicks nice and warm for their journey. And when you order fewer than 15 chicks, we automatically send them via USPS Express Mail, which is the fastest way under the sun to ship baby chicks. You can also choose to have your larger orders shipped express to reduce transit times. So then my question was, I'm in Vegas, I'm stood here, it's boiling hot outside. I mean, we're at extreme temperatures now. How does that affect baby chickens? And the only reason they only ship chicks when they're only 1 day old. And they said right before chicks hatch, they have just absorbed the last of the yolk. This sustains them during their journey for up to 3 days. So that's why we need to ship them at the time when the yolk will sustain them. The reason nature works this way, and from what I was reading on other sites, well, I'll come back to this anyway, but the reason nature works this way is that if they were hatching beneath a mother hen, this would enable the early hatches to survive without eating and drinking until mother finished hatching the rest of the eggs. She can't get up from the nest until the entire hatching is over, or else the last babies would die in their shells and able to hatch without their mother's warmth. It's for this reason that shipping chicks that are more than 1 day old is unsafe. Because of that, the babies don't have the stores needed to survive the journey. If it's that safe to ship them, why are they dying some of them die when they get there, yeah? Are they? I couldn't find where they were assessed by a vet before shipping. I know they sex them and all that stuff, and they vaccinate them at 1 day old. Or do they? I mean, they say they do. I mean, how stringent are they? I'm really not sure.
I'm starting to get weirded out by this.
I know. Well, it is just weird. And if some die on arrival, which they say happens, clearly they suffer before they die. So how is it the safest method? You see where I'm going with this. Now, Hobby Farming, they posted a little informational thing here. They said the matter of unwanted male chicks is a real concern. The best behaved roosters grow to become flock companions and breeding stock, but the future for most male chickens is bleak, and this is why it rolls right into buying baby chicks. This blew my mind. The most suitable and humane destination for a rooster is the dinner table. But most backyard keepers and municipalities denounce the responsibility of processing unwanted roosters for food. In a small flock, a high rooster-to-hen ratio can cause serious physical damage to hens when they're overbred. Roosters can also be noise nuisances, and males tend to fight each other for territory and favorite hens. Sometimes unwanted males are included as free bonuses in large straight-run farm orders. More often, they're destroyed at large hatcheries, where the females are separated for shipping. Yeah, so there's a component to this that is not right. Other times, the males are incorrectly sexed as females. They wind up in small flocks and are eventually rehomed. However, the worst outcome from an aggressive rooster is to be rehomed with someone who intends to use the animal for cockfighting, an activity some people still think is acceptable. Arguably, the rooster becoming the centerpiece of the dinner table is a more compassionate end for him. No, sorry. Anyway, the matter of male chicks will continue to be an issue that chicken keepers have to make some peace with. Until more people are willing to process their own chickens for food, like backyard keepers did before industrialization, destroying chicks and rehoming unwanted birds will continue. A hen is a source of wholesome food for many years, while a rooster's most ideal contribution is one family dinner. The problem of unwanted male chickens shouldn't outweigh the value of a flock of laying hens. People's opinions are quite interesting based on whether they make money or not. Now, One Green Planet. We've actually had a couple of their articles on the show. This is what they had. Chicks are deprived of food for a long journey. The duration of transport varies. However, given the fact that around 8.5 billion chickens are raised for meat in the US and there are only 4 major breeding farms that supply these chickens, it can be surmised that these chicks need to travel far distances to populate the many farms across the country. During their journey to their new factory farm, air quotes, home, chicks are deprived of food. A newborn chick can survive on the nourishment they receive from the yolk for around 48 hours. So the 72-hour rule doesn't really ensure safety at all. And so it's a 48 hours. However, according to the European Food Safety Authority Scientific Panel on Animal Welfare and Health, when the temperatures are high, their food reserves are used up much earlier. Yeah? Broiler chickens are especially bred to have high metabolisms, which only exacerbates this issue. Another study done by researchers in Denmark found that when chicks are deprived of food, their immune function drops and their ability to grow to market weight at a fast pace drops significantly. It's a traumatic beginning, but it's hardly the end. The cruelty involved in transporting day-old chicks only details the first week in the life of a chick raised for food. After this journey, the chicks are sent to factory farms, where they will live remarkably short lives in fear, pain, and complete filth. Sadly, even small-scale hatcheries who supply chickens for backyard farmers ship day-old chicks via the U.S. Postal Service. Chickens are highly intelligent creatures who develop the concept of object permanence as early as 2 days old. This is very interesting. This enables them to anticipate and plan for the future. We can only imagine how this cognitive ability serves itself for a chick who only knows extreme stress in the first few hours of its life. It takes human children 6 months to develop this ability. What a chicken raised for food is taught, essentially from the moment they hatch, is to know only pain and to anticipate fear and discomfort. Knowledge that is only amplified when they are pumped with feed and hormones and grow too large to stand before their untimely slaughter. And that is true because I have studied with the University of Edinburgh, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Edinburgh. I can't remember which one it is I've got the education with.
Edinburgh.
Thank you. A little, brain going there. It is true. They are grown to be so big they can't support their own body weight. No animal should be treated like an inanimate object that can endure extended journeys in a cargo cabin, for example. Perhaps it is time to rethink how we think about chickens and see them for the someones they are, rather than the some things we treat as an animal, as in animal agriculture. So there you go. Now, farm sanctuary is kind of a longer segment than I thought it was going to be, but there's a lot to learn about this. There just is. Early this January, a box was mailed from a business in Texas. So here's an example. The package was supposed to be delivered to a location in Alabama, but it was addressed incorrectly. It traveled nearly 1,000 extra miles to Washington, D.C., and it sat unclaimed in a post office until one of the workers realized that something was amiss, contacted local animal control, and inside were more than 100 newborn chicks. After the chicks were seized and brought to the Washington Humane Society, a staff member notified Farm Sanctuary and their emergency rescue team, and they headed to D.C. to gather these survivors and transport them carefully back to their New York shelter. Despite their ordeal, though, these youngsters, they said, are already flourishing. They're energetic and curious. They're enthusiastically exploring their new home and enjoying the attention of their new human friends. But at the heart of this matter, it isn't every day that a shipment of chicks meant for Alabama ends up so far, of course, but it is every day that boxes packed with newborn chicks are sent through the Postal Service, headed to vendors, farmers, and hobbyists, large and small. Those who buy chicks online from catalogs or feed stores support the very same types of facilities that supply large egg producers. The chick business, I think this is the most important thing to understand. The chick business is not an alternative to the factory farming industry. It is part of the factory farming industry, and it's characterized by the same cruel practices, they said. And now we're talking about the brutal deaths of male chicks. The majority of male chicks are considered useless by these hatcheries that supply egg-laying chickens, which they have very few order requests for roosters. So most are killed within a day of emerging from their eggs. Common methods of disposal include gassing, stuffing chicks into plastic bags, throwing them into dumpsters to die slowly of suffocation and exposure, electrocution, and tossing live, conscious chicks into a macerating machine that grinds them into a pulp for fertilizer. And I have seen this. I have seen the videos, yeah? Have you seen them, Jim?
I think I saw that one, and it was horrible.
And because the sexual distribution of hatched chicks is roughly 50-50, any purchase of female chicks represents the death of an equal number of male chicks. There's over a million chicks that are sent out
a day.
I think they said around the Easter time. And it's funny because, well, I'm going to get to some statistics here, and we're definitely going to go over the show a little bit here, but I'm going to get to some statistics. And it's interesting how statistics are varying from the people that sell them to the people that are doing the research and pulling the numbers up for animal advocacy. Chick sexing is an inexact science. However, some male chicks are misidentified as female, and they do escape death. These survivors seldom fare well, though. Ships customers who don't want them cannot legally keep them, and they're dumped at municipal shelters, or they're euthanized, and hundreds more are abandoned to contend with harsh weather, starvation, and predators. Farm Sanctuary and other shelters field dozens of rooster placement requests every month, more than any rescue network could hope to accommodate. The shipping of day-old chicks through the mail. So let me see. I mean, I don't want to repeat myself on what they were saying here. Oh, no, this is quite interesting, though. Hatcheries ship day-old birds, postal service, during journeys of up to 72 hours. These chicks are deprived of food and water and are exposed to extremes in temperatures. And as Dr. Jean Cipher, a veterinarian specializing in avian medicine, she notes, a day-old chick can no more withstand 3 days in a dark, crowded box than can any other newborn. Other experts in avian medicine and behavior agree that transporting day-old chicks in boxes for the first 24 to 72 hours of life is cruel and medically detrimental to the birds. We know from past rescues just how detrimental and, in fact, fatal this practice can be. Apologists may argue that this is in the interest of hatcheries to ensure chicks reach their destinations in good health and that the businesses therefore take precautions such as providing air holes, oh, aren't they kind, and requesting that customers be alerted as soon as shipments arrive. In fact, hatcheries, like other factory farming businesses, are not interested in going out of their way to protect the well-being of their animals. Because they produce on such a large scale, it is cheaper for them to simply replace sick, injured, or dead animals than to prevent illness, injury, and death. Suppliers offer guarantees to replace chicks who have died during transport or add a few extras to the shipment to account for probable losses. So if it is so safe, why are we having these probable losses? Whether or not mail-order chicks survive shipping, it is an awful experience inflicted upon them during their very first days of life. So this is when we come back to animal welfare through the eyes of the animal, taken away from your mother immediately. Put in a dark box with a bunch of other chicks, and on you go on this journey. See? So what can we do? This was quite interesting. What can we do? The good news is that there is a way for well-informed and prepared carers to provide homes for chickens without supporting cruel industries, and that is to adopt them. And there's also a simple and powerful way for anyone who cares about chickens to prevent their suffering at hatcheries during transport and in hellish egg factories. And they said, don't eat eggs. There you go. So where is the animal welfare in this situation? Where is the animal welfare? There really isn't. And I do find it quite interesting, like I say, from the people that actually profit from this to the people that actually truly care about animal advocacy. It's a very different view. And sometimes it's a little bit rainbows and unicorns, you know. And
how can we rescue
again, it's
chicken? Where do we rescue chickens here locally?
Oh, they have them everywhere. One farm animal sanctuary, Rachel's sanctuary. She does all farming animals. She's amazing. But I know that when we had a sanctuary before, the animal sanctuary, I remember them saying we just got a box of chickens that were just left at the post office, and a lot of them had died. So, you know, it's something to think about. Again, it comes back to, it's just a product. It's not a living being. And it's not acceptable. Now, they're saying, you know, out of 1 million, you expect 1% to die. Only 1%. But that's 10,000. That's 10,000 baby chicks. And I can guarantee it's more than that. So, and they were saying that, you know, the sellers are saying it's 1%. Animal advocacy research is saying it's more like 11%. So now the numbers are really, really high. So it's something to think about. We always encourage you not to buy baby chickens or baby bunnies, certainly not for gifts. They're not gifts. They're living, breathing creatures that take work, space, knowledge, education, and a true love for animals. And they do get dumped all the time, particularly around Easter time. It's not a good thing. It's just not a good thing. And you know, next time, you know, I found some petitions online to stop this practice of shipping them through the mail, but I need to find out how to do that officially through the government, so we can actually
need to write a letter to.
I think they have official guidelines.
To your congressperson.
Yeah, because I just think it's a practice that, you know, it's 100 years old. It's time for it to go. And just because, here's my thing. Just because it's not illegal to ship baby chicks, it doesn't make it okay. It just doesn't make it okay. And it's not just baby chicks. They ship partridges, ducklings,
reptiles.
It just bothers me immensely. So there you go. That's my baby chick part of the whole show. And as I get more information on hopefully doing a successful petition to the government, and I just don't mean, I've just created a little thing online. I really like to see this practice go away. And if you are going to have chicks and you want chickens, you want to raise chickens, we have tons of friends that do raise chickens. It's fantastic. But they didn't ship them through the mail. They went to actually get their chicks from a farm. I know that one of my friends, she did I'll meet you halfway through the country to get my chickens. So they both drove and met at a certain point. And so she could care for them properly.
Maybe we should get a hold of Steve Lee over at the Animal Legal Defense Fund and Foundation and see if he can help us with the petition and the
You know
legality.
what? That it's not Lee. It's gosh, it's funny. I was just reading his stuff this morning. Animal Legal Defense Fund. Yes, that is a. You know what? I bet you anything. There's something on their site about baby chicks that we can get involved in. But I'd like to be able to get people involved in something that will make a difference. I mean, there are many petitions online, and you just keep seeing them circulate year after year after year. And you go, well, is anything getting done? Is it official? Do people know exactly how to petition about this? Oh, what did you just do?
I want to change something on your mic.
Yeah, and I feel like you just blew out my eardrums.
It's not that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Well, I think it's been a great show. It started off wonderfully with Julia Greene from Petisserie and the excitement that came along with her cakes. As I said, they are next level. You know me. If I love it, I love to tell you about it. And it is organic and healthy and so beautiful. I'll put the links on our page as well. We're giving you the tick hack. If you're out and about, stick a bobby pin or a grip in your backpack, in your hair, should you have to remove one. And it's quite easy. We gave you a nice little list of things that could be super, super healthy in your fridge that would help your pets with their nutrition. And then, a little awareness about those baby chicks. And we'll get you more information on that. So big thank you to Julia Greene for being on the show. And as I threw her in the deep end, but now she knows how to do a radio interview. And thank you, Jim, for pushing the buttons like you do every single week. And are you taking me to get a birthday gift?
Yeah, we can. I just found out I have a 5:15 sound check.
Okay, so we need to
chop.
We need to get cracking on. We really do. We need to get cracking on. And if you've liked this show, please share it with your friends and your family members. It's really easy if you're listening on social media or if you're listening through our website. Super easy just to hit that share button and tell everyone how much you enjoy the show. And of course, do not forget to post pics of your pets on my social media pages. I love to see them. And make sure you tell us their names as well and why you love them so much. Now, today you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it is all about pets, people, and pop culture. And I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And always kiss your pets good morning and good night. And I will see you next time.
You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Visit Vegas Rock Dog Radio for more information. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe on iTunes and iHeart Radio. And remember, give your fur babies a big kiss from me, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. You must not rely on the information in this broadcast from our host as an alternative to medical advice from your veterinarian. If you have any specific questions about a medical matter regarding your pets, you should consult your veterinarian or specialist.